Another nice sound using the same harmonic idea is using the seventh of the chord. So like for C, where we had a 3-note chord before, if we add a seventh, we're going to add, and stay in C major, we're going to add the major seventh, which in this case is a B. We find it by going up the C major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's our seventh. And what's interesting is now we have another element, which means we have more inversions. Before we had 2 inversions of a C major chord. Well, we had the root position, we had the first inversion and the second inversion. Now, using the 7th chord, we have an additional inversion. We basically have root position, first inversion, where the 3rd is in the bottom, second inversion, where the 5th of the chord is in the bottom, and finally, we have the 3rd inversion, where the 7th is on the bottom. So what's really cool is to be able to play the same harmonic exercise starting on any inversion and add these sevenths. So like, okay, we'll start on the root position. Here's a C major 7th chord. Then we're going to go to an A minor 7th chord. And what's also really cool is we're still only going to be changing one note. So this B will move to the A. And as a reminder, the note you're going to change is the note that moves to the root of the next chord. That's probably the biggest hint here. So if you're on C and I'm saying you're going to move one note, the note you're going to move is to the A and the left hand too. Alright, so here we are. It's an A minor 7th. You're going to move to an F major 7th, right? And then you're going to move to a D minor 7th. And what's also cool is that the 7th, like in D minor, the 7th is the C, right? So now when we move to it, the C is going to move down to B flat. But when we move to G minor, the F is going to be the 7th of G minor, and it's going to stay. And that, you'll notice, is a pattern as well. So here we're going to E flat major. The D, which is going to be the 7th, is going to stay. So it's very, very smooth. So it creates a sound like this. Feel free to ripple it. It's good for your technique. Find the chords really fast. You can cycle through them that way. Of course, I'm throwing in some ninths just because I can. Okay, so now, as a special bonus, we're going to be visiting the 50s. This whole progression that I taught you totally lends itself to doing a very standard kind of 50s progression. Let's not start in C though. Let's move down the line a little bit. Maybe we'll go to E flat. E flat major. So here we are, we're on E flat. We're going to go to the relative minor, which we all know by this point is C minor. And then we're going to go to the next major key in the circle, which is A flat. But then, because we started on E flat, we're going to go to the 5th in E flat, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is B flat. So we go E flat major, C minor, A flat major, and then closing it up by playing B flat. And if you haven't guessed by now, you pretty much have this kind of sound. If you want to sing along, feel free. If you want to make a melody, that's up to you. A little cadenza here. So you can do that from any key. Let's just do it real quickly from G. The 5th of G is D. We're back. So it creates a nice loop. It's a good way to practice your inversions. Start anywhere. Start on the 2nd inversion.